Welcome to Worst to Best, the series where we look at the worst of something all the way to the best of something. This episode... Hey guys, it's your boy MadDBZ here, back with another episode of Worst to Best. Today, we're taking a look at Dragon Ball movie villains. Dragon Ball movie villains have a special place in the Dragon Ball franchise. They're just like normal villains, except to last around 20 minutes and die to a spirit bomb. Well, with some exceptions. So today we're going to be ranking all of Dragon Ball Z's movie villains from worst to best. Now, I won't be including movie villains that are also villains, or were villains in the main story, so I won't be including people like Beerus and Frieza. And as for Broly, well, the new Broly is completely different from the old Broly, so I will include the old Broly, but both of them. So how are we ranking this? On strength? No. GARLIC.JR would obviously win. We're ranking these guys on how much I like them. That's it. Before we get into this video, I'd like to give a shout out to Geek Nations who reached out to me to give you guys some free items. They're giving away free Dragon Ball Lego sets on their website to everyone who watches this video. All you have to do is cover shipping, which is insanely cheap. All you have to do is click the link in the description, add the Lego set of your choice to cart, and proceed to checkout. It's that simple. These are a perfect gift for any Dragon Ball fan. You can also use the code MAD to get 10% off anything on the website, so I recommend checking out their other products to see if anything interests you. Personally, I like their Dragon Ball necklaces, they're sick. So thanks to Geek Nations for sponsoring this video and providing this giveaway. Now let's get into the list. Okay, let's get this one out the way super quick. Bio Broly is a clone of Broly made by these guys. He becomes deformed when he is drenched in slime or whatever this stuff is. Now, why is he the worst movie villain? Because he has no personality and he looks like a fucking slug. Next up, we have HIRUDEGARN. I don't fucking know how to pronounce this. This guy is the main antagonist of Dragon Ball Z Wrath of the Dragon. This guy is basically a gigantic monster who was sealed away inside a sword. Yeah, I haven't really watched this one in a long time. This guy is basically Dragon Ball's equivalent of Godzilla. He has no personality or emotions besides mindless rage. And yeah, apparently he was a demon god. Well, you know, that's nice. Overall, he looks cool. He's defeated in a cool way, but I wouldn't put him in my Xenoverse roster, so that's why he's at this side of the list. Next up, we have Dr. WHEELO. Dr. WHEELO is the main antagonist. I know I'm saying his name wrong, just leave me alone. He's the main antagonist of the second Dragon Ball Z film, The World's Strongest. Basically, Dr. WHEELO is a brain, which is held up by this large metal scorpion-like body with claws and shit. It's kinda cool. Dr. WHEELO's goal is to rule the world, but he needed a strong body to take control of, and this is why he goes after Master Roshi, the strongest man in the world. But then he soon realizes that Goku is the strongest, so they go after him instead. And when I say go after him, I mean Goku goes after them. Yeah, you just gotta watch the movie. The movie itself is actually really good in terms of story and creativity. However, we're not ranking movies today, we're ranking movie villains. 5,000 likes and I'll rank the movies though. And as a villain, he's pretty much just a big brain. Sure, he's powerful in his cyborg body and he's really smart, but he's just a brain, which puts him at quite a low ranking. Next up, we have Lord Slug. Now, I actually really like Lord Slug, because besides Piccolo and Piccolo Jr., he's the first real Namekian villain we get to see, and seeing a Namekian villain, again, was cool. Lord Slug is an evil Namekian who can transform into a Super Namek. Ooh. Basically, he conquers planets and then he comes to Earth for the Dragon Balls to wish for eternal youth. Seeing a Namekian villain in Dragon Ball Z was cool, and a nice throwback to King Piccolo, but overall, he didn't really have anything unique about him besides a cool backstory. However, he's a Namekian, so I like him, I'll let him pass, but I don't like him as much as... Now, even though I said I wouldn't include villains that also appear in the main timeline and the main show, the GARLIC.JR saga never happened. It never happened. It never happened! GARLIC.JR is the main antagonist in Dead Zone, one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z movies. I can explain why it's one of my favorite movies if you guys smash that like button and I make the movies worst to best. Basically, he wishes for immortality with the Dragon Balls and attempts to kill Kami as revenge for his father's death. Now, even though he's an annoying little shit and his motives of revenge were pretty cliche, I actually loved that he got immortality. When I first watched this movie, I had no idea how they were going to defeat him, and alongside this, he has a really really badass transformation. In the main series, Garlic Jr. was shit. However, in this movie, Garlic Jr. is the shit. As annoying as he can be in his base form, I can't help but love his buff transformation. Overall, a solid movie villain. Next up, we have the space pirate himself, BOJACK. After being sealed away by King Kai and that seal being broken by the destruction of King Kai's planet through Cell, BOJACK is released. Now BOJACK has a really cool looking design and a different approach to his character. We've never really seen a pirate as a villain before. He also has a transformation that is pretty cool. Super pirate? Although the final fight of this film is very similar to the Cell fight, I'm not ranking movies, and as a villain, BOJACK comes through. With a cool design and a cool concept, it's safe to say that BOJACK is a decent villain. Next up, we've got TURLES, aka Evil Goku, aka Goku Black version 1. TURLES is a Saiyan warrior who looks exactly like Goku. He seeks out planet Earth to plant the seed of the Tree of Mike, so he can eat some fruit to become stronger and drain all the energy of the Earth. Now, why do I like TURLES? Well, simple. He's an evil Goku. Now, I'm talking before evil Goku was a real thing in Dragon Ball Super and it just sounded like a bullshit fan theory. This was our first ever glance of a real evil Goku, and I'm sure that's what they were going for. Seeing an evil Goku fight Goku was really cool. The Tree of Might was an interesting concept and how he could eat fruit to get stronger, and the overall execution of him as a character was great. He was intimidating, had a villainous feel to him. He was a bit of a prick, but a good villain nonetheless. Next up, we have Android 13. Android 13 is an android created by Dr. Gero to kill Goku. Original. No, seriously, it's original. This guy's design was very different, and the whole concept that he had to absorb androids to transform, never heard of it before. No way. Android 13 has a personality of his own, even though his motivation is completely the same of the other he's an android, so I can't really complain. His transformation was also pretty cool too. Super Android 13, what a beast. Once transformed, even though it's cool, it isn't really much special. He just becomes another movie villain with a cool super transformation, but his personality and characteristics as Android 13, they're great. Okay, top 3. Number 3, Broly. Now, I'd just like to disclaim that this Broly isn't the new Broly, this is the OG Broly. So Broly, he's the legendary Super Saiyan. Personality-wise, yeah, design-wise though, what a damn beast. This is the Super Saiyan. Broly's motives and intentions are purely to kill Kakarot. Basically, as a baby, Goku was crying. That's it. Now Broly wants to kill him for that. Broly was born as the legendary Super Saiyan and was stronger than the average Saiyan. King Vegeta felt threatened by this and sent Broly off to be killed. However, surviving this, Broly and his father Paragus were able to escape planet Vegeta before the planet was destroyed. Paragus has motives of his own, but Broly's pure intentions throughout the movie is just to smash, that's it. Cool backstory, however, I don't think the motives were really there with Broly's character. Besides that, Broly is by far the most popular movie villain, if not one of the most popular Dragon Ball villains of all time. For me, I love the design and I love the idea of the legendary Super Saiyan. His backstory was also really cool, however, his lack of personality and proper character motives make him fall short from that number 1 spot. Oh well, Broly, maybe you'll redeem yourself in the upcoming movie. For the number 2 spot, we have Cooler. So Cooler is quite simple. He is the older brother of Frieza who is seeking revenge against Goku for killing his brother. Not to avenge Frieza, but to restore his family's honor. Now, I really like Cooler. My favorite Dragon Ball villain of all time is Frieza, but that's a video for another day. So imagine taking Frieza and making him more mature and more badass. Cooler. Now, even though you could argue he is a ripoff of Frieza, I don't want to hear it. Cooler is sick for a movie villain. The best part of Cooler, his transformation. Admit it. This is badass. And that's all I have to say. Cooler is a more badass version of Frieza, and even though I still like Frieza more, Cooler easily claims his place as one of the best movie villains. The best movie villain, Janemba. Not this one though, this one. Janemba is the main antagonist of Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. He is firstly shown as a fat yellow demon, but eventually transforms into this badass. Who can do cool shit like this? This is so cool! Even though it's argued that he's a ripoff of Boo, does it even matter? Are any of these movie villains original? Janemba is pure evil. He literally looks like the devil, and with a badass, not this one, design, he really follows it up in his character. Being really similar to other Dragon Ball villains, he is destructive and has no other motivations than destruction. He's literally a manifestation of evil energy. That pretty much sums him up. Now, why do I like him more than any other Dragon Ball movie villain? His motives and personality are pretty bland. Well, besides his design being really good, I think the reason I like Janemba so much is because it boils down to this goddamn technique. He is really cool, and that's why I like him. You guys wanted a MadDBZ worst to best? You got it. That's basically it. The best movie villain, Janemba. He's cool. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for the list. Tell me who your favorite Dragon Ball movie villains are in the comments below. If you have any disagreements with my list, feel free to argue in the comments below as well. Always happy to do that. Don't forget to get your free Dragon Ball Lego with the link below. I can guarantee that these won't last. They're only free while stocks last, so if you miss out, not my fault. If you want more worst to best videos, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Remember, 5,000 likes on this video and I'll follow up this video with a worst to best Dragon Ball movies list. That'll be fun. Anyway guys, peace.